is too big when it comes to the size of homes. There's an interesting discussion in Golden Valley regarding what's allowed to be built on smaller lots. Reporter Eric Nelson looks into the issue.
I've lived here 17 years. I have a garden, I have roots, I have neighbors. It's home, and now it's very dark.
Maggie Bostrom's happy space isn't quite the happy place she says it used to be.
They're right on top of me.
Bostrom believes her modest Golden Valley residence has been eclipsed by the larger house built next door.
It's basically 4 stories in back. It's pretty tall back there. We've had people wonder if it's like a fourplex.
Bostrom says the new home, built last year, just isn't the right fit for the lot, and she's not happy about it.
A couple times friends came over and I just cried like a baby when the walls started going up and the sunlight started going down.
Jason Zimmerman is the Golden Valley planning manager. He says the city is sympathetic to Bostrom.
No one would want to be in a situation where suddenly your view has been restricted, or your kind of the environment you've been used to looking out at is suddenly gone.
In fact, one of Golden Valley's priorities this year includes protecting neighborhood character by revamping housing code.
And now it's time to kind of drill down for these narrower lots and look at, do we have the right regulations in place, whether it's setbacks, height, other things, and maybe it's time to tweak some of those.
The city has about 600 lots that are considered narrow, which are 65 feet wide or less. For Golden Valley, it's all a question of balance. How do you maintain neighborhood integrity while still keeping the city attractive to families who want larger homes?
I think the issue is that the 40-foot lots, in order to fit a family, kind of has to be 2 stories.
Kristen Pavic lives in a home on a 40-foot lot with her family.
We've never felt like our backyard is lacking at all.
She likes her backyard and living across the street from Theodore Worth Park.
The draw here wasn't necessarily a large lot, but being close to the city and being close to a park that's the size of Central Park.
But there is a drawback to a smaller lot and what you can build on it.
Our house does not have a garage, can't have a garage unless we have 2 stories because there's no alley for us. So either we have cars parked outside, which our house is actually currently on the market, and the reason that it's not selling is because it doesn't have a garage right now.
Kristen believes larger homes on smaller footprints are inevitable as the Twin Cities metro expands, and she remains positive that there's a way for everyone's opinion to be heard and valued.
I would rather have dense houses that have a place to park than have no parking at all and just single stories on the 40-foot lots.
Now, the Golden Valley Planning Commission discussed this issue last week. Emphasis was placed on finding the balance between letting people develop their lots and keeping that development from turning into what some residents call a McMansion. We'll keep following this story. Shannon?
Thank you, Eric. And Tuesday is Election Day. It is also a day of trying to get people out to the polls. It's an off-year election when neither a presidential election or a midterm election takes place. Typically, there's low voter turnout. Golden Valley holds municipal elections in odd-numbered years and does not hold municipal primary elections. Residents cast ballots for mayor, 2 city council seats, and 3 seats on the Hopkins School Board.
Happily, it's been pretty steady. We have only had a few times where we've had no voters, so we're always delighted to see a lot of voters come out.
Golden Valley officials say many people skipped the voting booth and instead voted early through absentee ballot.
There's been 607 accepted ballots so far for our city, and starting last Tuesday, voters could actually put their ballot directly into the ballot counter for direct balloting, and we had 349 people come in just since last Tuesday. So that has definitely picked up as it's gotten closer to the election.
For more information on the candidates or election results after the polls close, head to our website, ccxmedia.org. The temperature is plummeting and snow is in the forecast, and that is the season for Interfaith Outreach's annual Sleep Out fundraiser. For more than 2 decades, Interfaith has held the Sleep Out. Officials with the group say money raised over the years has prevented homelessness more than 33,000 times just through rent assistance. Funds also go toward making rental units affordable to low-income people. But to do those things, Interfaith needs donations. And this year, they've set a goal of $2.6 million for the Sleep Out.
It's not a small number, but we know that this community has the ability to go after hard things and high goals, and we're very optimistic that we can pull it off again this year.
You can donate now through the end of the year. If you donate on November 14th, Give to the Max Day, you'll help with a matching grant of up to $250,000. With the weather turning colder, it's also a time to collect winter gear for people in need. Several local police departments are coming together to do something about that. New Hope, Robbinsdale, and Crystal are collecting new or gently used winter coats. The police departments are in a friendly competition to see who can collect the most coats before a December 6th deadline.
It's something that you definitely need if you live in our state, is something to keep you warm. With our 3 agencies, the more coats that we all collect, the better it is for our community.
New Hope police say they could use more children's coats. So far, they've collected many adult coats. All the coats collected will go to the Salvation Army. It's becoming a Plymouth post-Halloween tradition. The city is accepting Halloween pumpkins at its maintenance facility. The pumpkins will be shipped to a farm where they'll become food for pigs. City officials say it's a good way to dispose of unwanted jack-o'-lanterns while keeping the environment in mind.
Maybe they think about it a little bit. The kids, you know, Halloween's fun, pumpkins are fun to carve, but now what do you do with them? And if that gets them thinking about, oh, recycling and reusing things, that's kind of the ultimate goal.
The pumpkin drop runs through November 12th.
It is state tournament week in volleyball. For the first time since 2010, Wayzata is in the Class 3A tournament. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Trojans are ready to make a run at a title.
They've looked like a potential state tournament team right from the first week of the season. And now that it's here, the Trojans are thrilled.
We are so excited. This is the first time it's happened in quite a few years, and we've worked really hard to get here. This is a lot of our senior season, so it's a great reward for all the hard work we've done.
While some programs seem to have powerhouse teams every year, it had been 9 years since Wayzata qualified for state. And many of the current players were part of a team that won just 7 matches 2 years ago. That's made this run more rewarding.
Even when we worked so hard, we still weren't able to pull off that many wins, and now we've come this far, and having such a good record this year and making it this far.
I think getting to the state tournament any year is special, but the fact that there's been a bit of a drought here, that we've waited almost a decade to go back it makes it more special when you finally get there, certainly.
Wayzata is the number 2 seed for the state tournament and drew first-time entrant Elk River in the quarterfinals. The Trojans beat the Elks in 3 sets early this season.
Yeah, I remember their serving was pretty tough and they moved us around quite a bit, so I think serve receive will be a big part of the game, but I think if we go in strong, we have a pretty good chance.
It won't be easy, but Wayzata comes into the tournament believing they're a legitimate title threat.
We all just give it our all, and we all work so hard for this, and I think we can make it to the end.
I think the way we're playing right now, we definitely are. There's always things that can go differently, but I think if we keep up playing how we are right now, we have a good shot.
Great teams on both sides of the bracket. Probably everybody's looking at Egan as the favorite, and as they should be, but I think we've got some physical tools and we've got a lot of character makeup, and we've invested heavily in the skills of volleyball and being a great team together to put us there, so why not us?
The Trojans are ready to take St. Paul by storm. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Wayzata faces Elk River in the Class 3A quarterfinals Thursday at 11 a.m. You can watch tape-delayed coverage of that match Thursday night at 7 here on CCX1. The Champlin Park football team is in the Class 6A state quarterfinals, and they'll line up against Rosemont on Thursday night. Jason Malillo visited with the Rebels and has this report.
Champlin Park beat Rosemount during the regular season, and that could be beneficial as the Rebels collide with the Irish in the state playoffs.
When you just see a team on film, you don't know, kind of exactly, what they'll do, but now our offensive line has faced their defensive line, our defensive line has faced their offensive line, so, kind of the mystery there is gone, but you still got to execute.
Champlin's defense is a force this season and was on point in the Rebels' win over Prior Lake last week.
We just keep getting better and better each week. That's all I could really say, because we just we love each other, man. We just come out here each and every day and just get better with each other.
On offense, Champlin is versatile. Running back Sean Shipman is a workhorse, and Jace Miller has been impressive in his first season as starting quarterback.
We really just picked it up in the off season because I've been his wideout ever since like 8th grade, so like we still have that connection now, and he's done a great job.
And playing on turf could give the Rebels offense even more juice.
The one games we played on turf, Maple Grove, we were very explosive, so we're excited to be on turf.
Rosemount will be riding high after upsetting Eden Prairie, but Champlin is aiming to be ready and hoping to move one step closer to the Prep Bowl. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Champlin Park and Rosemount will play at Park Center High School on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We'll preview Wayzata's Friday game with Centennial later this week. That's all for sports. More news after this.